It's Wednesday evening, 5/31/17, and I'm getting ready to go mow hay for the second time this year. You see the sun shining there behind me, but it has been some kind of rainy ever since I got that last hay up. And they're calling for 3 decent days, and I want to go ahead and take a gamble on it. See if I can get a little more up. Gotta get the T5 started up, check for bird nests under the exhaust pipe, make sure it's not going to burn up, and get it hooked up to the disc bind. I ain't even hooked up or nothing. I unhook it from the square baler and just parked it. I hadn't even done anything with it since the last hay. When was that? I think I mowed last on 5/13, and after I mowed, I realized it was 5/13. I thought, maybe I shouldn't have mowed on the 13th, but everything worked out really good, so I'm glad I did. All right, well, here he is, sitting here waiting. Make sure, gotta check oil, make sure full of fuel, make sure I got plenty of depth in the tank. Here's the square baler. Like I just unhooked it and daggone birds. I don't know what to do about the birds in this shed, but I've shot 4 of them. They're starlings. I don't like them things. They're not native to here. Anyway, let's get going. Alright, check everything, make sure I got it hooked up. I got lights, hoses, PTO, safety chain, got the jack up, store the jack up here on the tongue on these mowers. They make this chain long enough that you can put it around this handle. That way, as you're going around turns and across hills, your jack's not screwing up and down and causing the issue there. So that's pretty smart on their part. They actually suggest that in the owner's manual. And anyway, mowers should be ready to go. It hadn't mowed very much hay since it was breeze last, so not concerned about that. Hit the road. I'll go ahead and mow this little field here right at my dad's house. It's only about 2 acres. But it is one of the fields that I reseeded, and I was seeding it at night. I got a video about it called Seeding at Night, I believe. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start here. I normally square bale this field. It's got pretty good, decent hay in it. And I said when I was going to mow this time, I wasn't going to mow any for square baling because I got a short window for getting it up. I'm going to have 3 days, which that'll, I mean, I like to have 4 days just in case something. If it's cloudy or something and the 3 days don't do it, it gives me an extra day. But I said I was just going to do, what I wanted to do was just do enough to round bale. And the guy, one of the guys that I'm selling hay to, I think 3 days, I don't think he'd have a problem with it if it was just a little bit damp when it got baled, but I try not to let that happen. If I have to, I can round bale this field too. I'd just rather not. See if I can get the disc bind fired up here. Gonna be in regular 540 this time. This field's pretty steep. Right after I got up my last hay, it rained every day for a week solid. And then it's rained pretty much every other day since then. This is a really steep hill I'm going up right here. I'm going about 3.5 miles an hour right now. Now I'm going about 4.2. I'm hoping once I get all the hay off this field, I'll be able to see where I drilled it. There's a field just up the road here that I drilled, and after I got all the hay off of it, I could see exactly where the drill had been, so that kind of gave me hope that hopefully the seed had took and was growing a little bit. It's hard to tell when you interseed into these fields that already have grass in them. It's hard to tell whether what you planted is coming up or not. It's almost impossible to tell. But hopefully this one I'll be able to see where I planted too. It's a little bit thicker than I figured it was going to be. Laying down some nice windrows. Going 6.2 miles an hour across the bottom there, and then up this steep hill I have to back it off. There I have to drop 2 gears. Going 4.2 miles an hour up this steep hill. It's pretty steep. It's steep enough when I go across it with the Coons accumulator, I get a little bit nervous, even though I've done it 100 times. Well, I haven't done it that many times, but I've done it a lot of times. And I still get nervous when I go across it with that accumulator because it's so tall. They say it's the center of gravity is really low on them, but it's so tall. It just looks top heavy. It looks like it's leaning way over, and it's kind of scary to look at. So, but anyway, it ain't never turned over on me. There was one time I thought it was going to turn over on me. It wasn't here, it was somewhere else. It's a little bit steeper than here. But it's kind of a bad feeling when you think your accumulator is going to turn over when it's behind your baler. I ain't worried about my tractor turning over on anything that I've got. I've been all over every inch of every field I've got. There ain't nothing, unless you do something stupid, there ain't nothing going to turn one of my tractors over in any of my fields. There's one spot that's pretty bad, and it's got a rock sticking out. I guess if you hit that rock just right on the upper side of the tractor, I guess if you hit it fast enough, it would probably send you on over. But I know where the rock is, and I've been over so much, it don't bother me. My wife don't like to drive on it, I'll tell you that. I try not to. When I square bale in that field, I don't typically square bale that part because it's so steep. I normally round bale it. That way she don't have to pull the accumulator on it. I don't even want to I wouldn't pull the accumulator across it. I feel like the accumulator, it might make it across it, but I really don't think it would. I don't know. It's so tall. I think it's 11 foot tall. It just looks crazy when it's on the side of the slope. Getting to the point I'm getting ready to even though this field's only 2 acres, I'm getting ready to take off out through the middle of it. That's what I'm getting ready to do. Split it in half, then I'll jump from end to end. This field right here looks about as good as I believe I've ever seen it in the last 5 years. It was really good when I first started doing it, and then it kept going down, and when I first started doing hay, I didn't use a whole lot of fertilizer, and I never put out any lime. But I've since changed my ways and started putting out triple 19 and got the lime spreader and been doing my own lime and stuff, and trying to get all my land that I've got. There goes a little deer. I bet you there's a little deer in here somewhere. That's the mama right there. I bet you the little one's in here somewhere, and I do not want to run over it. Man, where you at? Right there goes the mama. Guess I'll watch for him. Come on, little guy, where you at? I do not want to run over this little guy. Okay, I see where she was bedded down at. Let's get out here and look. Right here's where she was bedded down at, but I don't see no little one in here anywhere. I really hope I don't hit him if there's one in here. Don't see nothing. Maybe she was just in here by herself, but it's not very likely. Most of the time, when you see a deer, a mama deer in the hay, she's got a little one with her somewhere.
Hold on. Here we go.
I picked up some hitchhikers.
Yes.
Got my whole family in the tractor now. Some good looking hay.
It is, it's so pretty.
The orchard grass is about chest high this time. When I mowed the alfalfa field, it was only about, I don't know, about belly button high. It's kind of warm in here.
More people.
More people, more heat.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. See Daddy's hay? Tell him it's pretty hay. Yay! Yes.
And I ain't seen a whole lot of weeds in it.
No. This looks like the orchard grass. Look.
Fescue.
Fescue.
Orchard grass, fescue, and clover.
Is the fescue what's like tall and skinnier?
Orchard grass is the dogfoot grass.
Okay. Oh, really? Exactly, Lucy.
Dogfoot grass, yeah.
I'm trying to help watch for stuff, you know?
Like
Yes.
bugs,
No.
frogs.
can't see frogs. If I could, I would try.
I think I see some, almost see some timothy.
I thought I saw some on the up. Because it's so distinct. It gets that head on it like that big, doesn't it?
Well, they get about that long. If you let it grow long enough.
Oh, really? But that's the timothy, right?
Yeah. Head does.
Right.
It's like a mini cattail.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
So we got a dog grass and cat grass.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting ready to start another field. I got my company gone. They hung out. My wife, that was my wife and my son. They rode with me there for 45 minutes or so. So that was kind of fun. And when she went to get my son, Dorsey, out of the tractor, he did not want to get out. He threw a little bit of a fit. It wasn't a bad fit, but he threw a little bit of a fit. And had his lip poked out as they were standing there watching me leave. But this field is beside another field that the big dairy farm around here does. There's a dairy farm over the hill here that milks about 600 head of cows. And need to go to the roadside. But this bottom, back in the day, all this land right here, we used to farm for our dairy, and I believe my grandpa owned it, but he sold it off. But the guy that owns it now still allows that dairy to farm it, which my uncle is the one that cuts it for the dairy. So the same people are practically farming it that's farmed it for I don't know how long, a long time. And then I mow this part over here, which is only about 6 or 7 acres. And then this field here to my left of me, I don't know how big it is, but it's pretty big. It's probably 25 acres. But this is what we call the love bottom. Some people that, by the last name of Love, I believe, lived in the house over here. Grass looks really good in this field. A lot of orchard grass and fescue I'm sure y'all tired of riding around with me in this tractor. So I guess I'll let y'all go for now.